I loved driving it. And knowing that you wouldn't see another one. You might get passed by E-Type Jags and Aston Martins, but you weren't going to get passed by a Toyota Celica.
Andrew Longmuir has had his for more than 30 years, but it's not your common or garden Celica.
It's the Toyota Celica Supra. It's got a 2.8 twin-cam electronic ignition in it. Nice cruising car. For someone my age, it's quite a firm ride. So, time to let it go. The reason partly that I kept it for so many years was that I was going to give it to my son, but he got married and had a child, and sort of the thought of being responsible for the car, putting it back on the road has waned a bit. It was one of the delights of owning it, was driving it round and people not realising what it is, because I don't think many people will see them.
Toyota's answer to Datsun's all-conquering 280Z was a stretched-out version of the Celica, powered by a straight 6-cylinder engine. They gave it a new badge, and the Celica Supra was born. The first gen looked the part, even if the performance lacked a bit of punch. Still, rear-wheel drive and fuel injection made it a fun, if not exactly earth-shattering ride. 1982 saw the arrival of a totally remodelled 2.8-litre version, complete with an 8-band graphic equaliser that made your Spandau Ballet tapes sound like Tony Hadley was in the passenger seat. The new Supras first arrived in strictly limited numbers, and like big hair and shoulder pads, not many survived the 80s. It's reckoned there are fewer than 10 left in the country today.
Right, inside, it's a bit dusty. It's got air conditioning, cruise control. It's a 5-speed manual box, which is a bit unusual as well. Most of them are automatics. It's obviously got a limited slip diff. The handling of it is enjoyable. There's never been any question about my love for the car, but now it's to see it ending up like this. I need to get something done about it. It would be nice if it went for, well, anything more than 3,500.
Jack and Charlie have travelled almost the full length of the M62 to Chester.
Maria. All right then?
And they still don't know what for.
I didn't actually know what we were coming for, but here, oh, Celica.
Yep.
You didn't tell me that bit, Jake, did you? Oh, wow.
Toyota Celica Supra.
Blimey, how long's it been in here?
About 5 years in this particular garage.
Don't see many Celica Supras about, though, do you?
I think there was only 6 left in the country.
That's probably why, then, yeah. Bet it was a fair car back in its day.
See off most BMWs.
I bet it would, yeah.
I think it's quite futuristic for its time, don't you? I think with it being 2.8 manual, I think it'd have been a bit like a spaceship, wouldn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, good fun. Still will be today. When have you last had it running?
It's about 6 years, I think, since.
Oh, so it shouldn't take many minutes then, I'd like to think, to get it going. And I'll tell you what, just with a wash off and a massive coat of polish, it'd change it all together, wouldn't it? Arches and things are all very solid, they're very good. Feels good. Lovely, other two. Well, that's handy, at least they're all holding air so far, one more to go.
I didn't know whether to expect a Supra, i.e., you know, the Supra, the proper one, or like a 2002 Celica. I didn't know what to expect. And then you open the door to that and think, oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Get them out the way.
Handles at this end, lad.
There we go. Got tighter, Jack. Straighten up a wee bit. All right, that side, Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Mr. Muscles over here. Keep me going. Well, she's got a stiff spot, that's why. That's heavy. There we go.
Get truck moved up. That's about easy enough, isn't it? Precision, that.
Straight. That'll do.
Yeah.
My aim was originally to get it up to the Isle of Arran and drive it on the Isle of Arran, but someone else can do that.
What did you buy it for back in the day?
I paid the guy £2,000 for it.
Well, I think we'll be in profit. Good, good, good. Well, we'll see what it makes. We'll be on our way then.
All right,
Thank you very much.
My old one, I used to not drive it for weeks, and I'd go in the garage and get in and turn the ignition on, see the digital dash light up and turn the key, and it just went into life. That dull hum of a straight six, it was beautiful. Gives you goosebumps, honestly, really good. When I got rid of mine, I kind of missed it. When this popped up for sale, I thought, oh, come have a look. I might have a little bid, we'll see what happens on the day.
Toyota Supras in any condition turn up once in a blue moon, so when they do, everybody wants a look.
Although this one wants a little bit of love, it's actually kept really well. A, you've got ever-increasing value, and B, you've got a really, really practical and usable car, haven't you? Everything's moving on a generation or two, isn't it? The 30s have had it finished. The 50s, even they're dwindling a little bit now, aren't they? 50s. And now we're moving into 60s, still okay. 70s, 80s. Here it is. 80s hot hatch. They're good fun, aren't they? They're still good fun. They still drive like a relatively modern car, don't they? Let's be honest. So, yeah, Japanese, 6-cylinder, on top of the job. Maybe the only thing they should have done was a little bit more anti-corrosion, shall we say. Yeah, that's maybe their downfall, But that aside, fabulous engine, fabulous, over-engineered. You can hardly wear them out, can you? Absolutely great. It's still a good-looking car. Even now, you know, it's old, but it's still a good-looking, trendy car, isn't it, you know? It's E-Type, isn't it? You know, E-Type's iconic, fabulous. I love a V12 E-Type. Long bonnet, low roof, flared arches. It's the Japanese E-Type, isn't it?
$726, 1986 Toyota Celica Supra. Now, someone picked this up, didn't they?
Did you pick it up?
Me, Charlie, yeah. You should run it. Had an engine rebuild not many thousand miles ago.
Right.
But yeah, it'll make a car.
Where we are then? Where are we? On sale and going down 6.5, 6,500, 6,600, 6,600, 6,800, 6,900. You want 7, Dave? 7,000.
7,1.
7,001, 7,1. Telephone in the end. 7,1, 7,3, 4, 7,4, 5, 6, 7,6, 7,9. Do you want 8, Dave? 8,1. County Tyrone. 8,1, 8,003, 8,4, 8,5, 8,005, 8,6, 8,7, 8,7, 8,8, 8,800. On its way, 9,000, £9,000, 9,002, 3, 9,3. Rare car, like you say, isn't it? 9,5, 9,005. I haven't seen one actually for years. 9,700, 98, 99. Come on, might as well fill it up while you're here. 99, 9 down. Who's got 10? 10,000. I've got 10. £10,000 away. 10. Gonna be sold. 10,000 for the first. 10,000 for the second. Third and last time. 10,000. Fair warning. Gonna be sold. There you go. Thank you, gentlemen.
I think Andrew would have been happy with like 3.5, 4 grand somewhere there. So he's going to be over the moon with 10.
North of the border, in the fine city of Glasgow, it's not just the architecture that's a feast for the eyes.
We have the 305 GT Turbo. There's only about 3 or 4 left in the UK, and I've got one of them.
Neil Clark's been building up a collection of cars that tell a story of hot hatch speed.
The Toyota GT4, it's a great car to drive, it's phenomenal, it really is, and it does turn heads. But there's two of them together.
Is there two GT4s?
Two of them, yeah. Why not? Have four if they're good.
All of which brings us nicely to Neil's latest acquisition, the 1986 Celica Supra.
They came in to the country, you only could get 10 at a time. They wouldn't allow any more in, which was surprising. And obviously they were expensive. Back then, to have a car which was 145 brake horsepower was just unbelievable. That was like, it was a rocket. We were running about in cars at 70, 80 horsepower. The design features on those cars, I mean, they went to a lot of bother to get this car to look the way it is. It cried out for me to buy it.
But a car that hadn't moved in a while had some issues that needed a bit of left-field thinking to fix.
We got the tank out, we looked inside and went, oh dear. The fuel goes off, it looks like varnish inside, it smells terrible, and the tank looks like it's got a lot of corrosion in it. We used to put litres and litres of vinegar, gallons of stuff inside it. So you can put every material you can, nuts and bolts, screws, bit of chain, whatever you might be, and you just put it inside it and you sluice it about just till your arms are aching. You do it the next day and then you leave it a couple of days and you look inside it and it starts to look a lot better and a lot cleaner, and you just do it again, and then eventually you treat it with bicarbonate of soda to neutralise the situation with the vinegar.
So the Supra has been keeping the mechanics busy, and Malcolm Campbell has enjoyed the chance to work on the old stuff.
You have to use your own brain, you have to use your experience. You look at the car, you then make a decision on how you're going to fix that car, and that's where the enjoyment comes. It's not just a computer telling you how to repair it.
Thank you, Malcolm. Job done. Brilliant.
Great stuff. Sounds fantastic.
You don't see that much now. Inspection lamp with the cars. Double overhead cam. Slight tick off the engine. That hopefully will go away when we do an engine flush, and we'll take it a run. And there you go. You'll have one lovely car.